Welcome. We are here today with Khempo Karma. He's a great Buddhist master. Actually, to have the degree of Khempo, you have to study for 9 years Buddhism. It's like having a PhD. So I'm very honored to have Khempo with us today to talk about a very important subject, which is happiness and suffering. So first of all, welcome, Khempo. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Khempo has lived in Mexico for the last years, and now he's going back to Bhutan. So we're very sad to see him go. So this is like a goodbye also. Let's start with the subject. Yes?
Okay, I'm ready.
What is happiness, or how can we understand happiness?
Okay. About happiness, it depends on our own perceptions, our own experience, and also happiness in a Buddhist concept. So different perception, descriptions like that. But generally, happiness is in Buddhism is to be satisfied with who you are, what you have, what you do. So satisfactions is the happiness, definition of happiness in Buddhism concept.
And how is that satisfaction or that happiness related to suffering?
Suffering is the opposite of happiness. And also there is in Buddhist concept, in philosophy, suffering is opposite of happiness. This definition of suffering is dissatisfaction.
Dissatisfaction.
Dissatisfaction is a suffering.
And why is there this dissatisfaction or suffering? Is there a real motive or cause for it?
This depends on our individual. Mm-hmm. Individuals. Satisfactions comes from inside of ourself, understanding and being grateful.
Okay.
So satisfactions doesn't come from outside or from the wealth or material. Those are all secondary. The main satisfaction is inside. People can be happy even with nothing. Mm-hmm. Some people are not happy even they have everything. Some people are happy even they have nothing because of not what they have, but inside how they satisfy with everything or satisfy with nothing. And satisfied is inside our understanding.
And this inner satisfaction, how does it grow, or how do we connect with that?
This is, we need to change our thought or to understand. For example, I can be happy. I can be happy with little thing. Mm-hmm. I'm satisfied. So I don't need many things. I need some necessary things. Mm-hmm. So that makes you happy. If you understand, if you accept, I can be happy with little things. That is satisfaction. But it doesn't mean you are lazy. I don't want that. I don't want that. I want very little, and that's enough. I don't want to do many things. That is laziness. Mm-hmm. But not to confuse. Satisfaction is you can do many things. You can help others. You can do many things, good for others, good for yourself, your family, everything you can do. But be happy with what you have. Even you have a little, even you don't have, be satisfied. But this comes understanding. To repeat myself, why not I can be happy? Some example is we can need to ask ourselves. There are many people, they don't have nothing, but we have something. So why should I be suffer? I can be happy. I have my enough thing, so I can be happy. Compared to others, the poor people, homeless people, they have nothing. Even they are happy, some of them, homeless people. But we are not homeless people. and we are enough, we have enough things, so we can be happy. So this understanding, reflection, develop satisfaction.
But that understanding isn't just like an idea that can also break very easily?
It can break easily because why? We have a very strong habit. We have a very strong habit. Always we want more and more. We want many things. So we have a strong desire. And we have a very strong desire habit. And it's not easy to break. It takes time to reduce our desire, strong desire, to be satisfied with these little things. So it takes time. But it is difficult, but not impossible.
Because it sounds a little like, let's say there's two energies in the world, one where you go out looking for things, and the other when you reduce the clinging or the attachment to these things. But it's not like just a reaction to not going out, because it seems like a reaction to the other thing.
Reaction.
Or how can we connect to the detachment without having a detachment to the detachment, attachment to the detachment?
Okay. So, for example, spiritual life is more looking inside. Looking inside, like a beauty, kind, inside, or your precious life, looking inside, spiritual life. But mundane life, looking outside, materials, positions, positions, fame, name, wealth. This is materials. So those are cause of a condition of happiness, but not a cause of happiness. Cause of happiness is inside, in your mind. So in Buddhism, we talk about cause and condition. Cause is inside. Condition is outside. We have to depend more in cause, not condition. Condition can change anytime. It can lose. But cause depends on ourselves. No one can change, but ourselves can change.
And this happiness, is it permanent, or does it come and it goes?
According to the Buddhism, nothing is permanent.
Okay.
Nothing is permanent and nothing is under control.
Yeah.
So happiness is a suffering, and happiness is a impermanence, and suffering is a impermanence. So bad news is happiness is suffering. Good news is suffering is impermanence too.
Yes.
You got it?
Yes.
So
yes.
the first words I think I
got it now.
Yeah, impermanence. Yeah. So both are impermanence.
Okay.
Both are impermanence. There's nothing permanent. Happiness and suffering.
But isn't there something permanent in this world?
There's nothing permanent in Buddhism philosophy. Only permanent is space.
Okay.
Space is permanent because it doesn't exist. What exists is impermanence. What doesn't exist is permanent. That's the concept of Buddhism.
Okay, so from that point of view, happiness and suffering are impermanent. So why seek happiness if it's also impermanent?
Yes, Buddhism, the goal, seeking happiness, not the temporal happiness. We're seeking ultimate happiness. There's two kinds of happiness.
What is the ultimate happiness?
Ultimate happiness is a Buddhahood.
Okay.
You attain Buddhahood, you attain enlightenment. That is the ultimate happiness. That happiness is beyond impermanent and permanent. That is the happiness, ultimate happiness. And the mundane happiness, the samsaric happiness, is temporary. It can come, it can go, change, nothing lost. So the Buddhism practitioner, the Buddhist practitioner looking for happiness is a Buddhahood, ultimate happiness, not the mundane happiness, not the temporary happiness.
Okay. If happiness is not the goal, then Is Buddhahood always the goal?
According to the Buddhism, the ultimate goal is Buddhahood. Ultimate goal. Even the ultimate goal for the human being is the Buddhahood, enlightenment.
Yeah.
Enlightenment. That's the ultimate goal to achieve. Free from all the suffering, free from all this ignorance, free from all the karmic. That's the ultimate goal. That's the ultimate happiness. Beyond permanent, impermanent. This is seeking Buddhahood in Buddhist path.
And why do we want Buddhahood?
So Buddhahood is that to awake. We are now living in illusion. We are living in illusion. Attachment, anger, jealousy, and we attach, cling, and we suffer. And these all are illusions. We're living in illusions. So we need to awake from illusions. So Buddhahood is the state of awakening.
If life has happiness and life has suffering, but it's impermanent, why live it?
So life is also impermanence. The life we experience happiness, we experience suffering, and suffering is not a bad. Suffering is not a bad. Suffering is a nature of our life. It happens. So from the suffering, we also develop our positive qualities such as compassion. From the suffering, we can understand how to be kind, how to be compassionate, how to be patient, tolerant, then not to harm others because of understanding your own suffering. So from the suffering also we can develop positive qualities to become good human being. Because of the suffering, Buddha attained Buddhahood. So he renounced suffering. So then he seek the truth of life, ultimate goal. And why? And he was questioning himself why this suffering happened in life. So there is cause of suffering, and Buddha discovered cause of suffering, and then he followed the path to abandon, to eliminate the cause of suffering. So he discovered the Buddhahood, enlightenment, and he showed the path to the sentient beings, the rest of sentient beings who are still in samsara, in illusion, living in illusion.
Okay. And for example, today there's a lot of suffering happening as a collective. How can we see this suffering so that we can leave samsara more or connect to happiness? What would be the way to see this suffering that is collective, not only mine?
Collective suffering, so this is also depends on karma, quality karma, individual karma. And there's always solutions, way to reduce quality karma and individual karma. So we have to be more aware, be mindful, not to engage in negative karma, body, physically, mentally, or verbally, not to engage negative karma. And here, what is the negative karma? That negative karma refers here that not to harm sentient beings, not to harm others, not to harm animals, any kind of creatures, not to harm. If you harm, that's negative karma. So negative karma depends on harming. Positive karma depends on helping. If there's no harming, there's no negative karma. If there's no helping, there's no positive karma. Our positive karma, our negative karma depends on harming or helping. And also in our life, love and compassion depends on happiness and suffering. If there's no happiness, love is useless. If there is no suffering, compassion is useless. If there's no happiness, there's no need to practice love, loving kindness. If there's no suffering, there's no need to practice compassion. If there's no suffering, there's no to seek liberation. So everything we develop love, compassion, seeking liberation. Those all depends on suffering and happiness, harming and helping. So this we need to aware of this action, not to harm others, but as much as to help others. So this is then that practice can help us to reduce our individual karma or quality karma.
Okay, so let's say when there's suffering, you search for the opposite.
Yes.
So that you can go back to the center, something like that?
Yes. So you're seeking happiness in a different way. Some people seeking happiness in a spiritual life, or they go to the monastery, they go to the remote area, cave, practice there. And some of them, they who live in the city, they're looking for the Dharma center, to have a teacher, meditations, teachings, practice. So there's many ways in a city and out of city, in monastery or in a normal life.
Okay.
You can seek happiness. You can practice Dharma. Dharma means the way of the law, the way of law. So good things, good result. Bad things, bad result. That's Dharma, way of law. The law of the way of law. Yeah.
Okay, so you can seek for that anywhere, any place. It doesn't really matter if you're in a monastery or if you live in a city. Anyone can achieve something like that.
Yeah, it depends on individuals. So anyone can achieve happiness, even in the city, even in the out of city.
Okay.
But if you cannot find happiness in city, even you cannot find happiness in the out of city, because all depends on your own understanding, your own practice, on your capacity of your mental training.
And what would you recommend to someone living in the city, living in the suffering? What do they have to seek?
Well, I think depend on them individuals. So people, they have a different aim, different destination goal, different career. They have but behind there is one same thing, one role. Everyone looking for happiness. Even someone want to become a popular writer or philosopher or poet or businessman, whatever. But at the end, they want happiness from the business. To be happy, from the career to be happy. Nobody wants to be suffer from the business, from the career. Everyone wants happiness from their own goal. Behind role is happiness.
Okay, so it's like searching in your own life, for that happiness?
Yeah, happiness in different ways.
Okay.
Happiness in your career, happiness in your business, happiness in your action, your job, happiness in different, or even you want to be a good husband, wife, that is also for happiness. If you want to be a good person, good human being, it's also for happiness. Everything is for happiness. In the ultimate, it's for happiness.
Okay, so to close, if everything is happiness, isn't it like just noticing that happiness is really everywhere, something like that?
Happiness is always there. Only we need to discover.
Okay.
Happiness is always there. Peace is always there, but only we need to discover.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Khempo, for being here.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you all, and please keep in touch and stay in tune.